Hailing from Douglasville, Georgia, he's not only a gifted performer, but a prolific songwriter who's penned hits for some of the biggest names in the industry. You may already know him for his chart topping debut single, Good Time, which took the airwaves by storm and became an anthem for those looking to let loose and enjoy life's simple pleasures. His music is a celebration of positivity, love, and the joy of living in the moment. But he's not just about creating catchy tunes, he's a storyteller, weaving together narratives that resonate with audiences of all ages. His latest album, Better Days, is a testament to his evolution as an artist, showcasing his growth and maturity while still maintaining that signature feel good vibe. So, without further ado, please welcome Niko Moon to the podcast. How's it going?
What's going on, my man? Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, this is great, my friend. I see you got a tea there. I got a coffee right here. Cheers to
Yeah.
you, or bottoms up.
Cheers
Here's to better days.
to better days. That's right.
Congratulations on the release of your new album, Better Days. Can you tell us about the inspiration behind the title and the overall theme of the album?
Yeah, sure. So Better Days, the album concept really is my take on positivity. And the song is really the benchmark, I would say. The song Better Days as well is really the benchmark of the album. And really, I think lyrically lays out that philosophy is the best of all the songs. And it's this right here. This is my philosophy on positivity, that it doesn't mean being happy all the time. Positivity to me means that in the difficult times of life and the hard times of life, that you hold on to the faith that there's better days ahead. You know, it's being at the bottom of the hill and looking up at the top and saying, I'm not going to be here forever. I'm going to get out of this valley and get up on that hill here pretty soon, you know. And having that optimistic outlook, you know, to me is what positivity is all about. And wanting to make music that really embodies that to help encourage folks. I'm an encourager by nature. Music is my gift and what I've chosen to give my life to, and to connect people through that. And what I feel like and it is a very meaningful way through positive music, you know. I think we all are probably are feeling the intensity of the current state of the world that we're living in. I mean, it's strange times we're living in, right? Sometimes I almost feel like it's a dream or something, like it's a little surreal. And I think for everybody, there's probably this low hum of anxiety in the background from the constant influx of negative information coming to us, whether through our phones or through TV or, you know, just through the world, and trying to combat that through music, you know, and providing that little bit of relief mentally for people, in the same way that I feel like I've been inspired musically through artists like Bob Marley and Jimmy Buffett and guys like that, you know, who really helped to lower the temperature in my mind and put my mind at ease, just trying to pay it forward.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Like all the negativity, some people look to music to feel inspired or feel better. I wrote this down how I feel about your music. It's feel good, kick back, enjoy. That's the words I thought about, right? I listened to this record many times. My favorite song is Falling for You. I realized,
Hey,
yeah, man. And I realized there's another collaboration on there with a guy named Hardy. Um,
yeah,
Collaborations are some of like the biggest things that can happen to an artist. I know you've had the pleasure of collaborating with many artists, Zach Brown. But what do you enjoy most about the collaborative process, and how does that influence your music? And can you share any memorable experiences from collaborating with other artists and how these collaborations shape your creative vision?
everything that I've ever learned musically, whether it's from songwriting or you know, playing of an instrument or anything like that, it's all come from someone giving me the knowledge, you know, someone imparting that wisdom to me, and me taking with it, you know, and making new art with it, you know. So music in and of itself is collaborative, in that to share music itself, you know, and to teach other people music, you know. So for me to have learned music, was a collaborative experience. And every great song that I've ever written, every number one that I've ever written for another artist, I got 8 number ones, 7 as a songwriter, 1 as an artist. And every single one of them, including my song, was a collaborative experience of working with other people. It's one of the fun things about music. It's almost, I kind of think of it like a painter painting, but instead of painting a picture yourself, you tell 3 or 4 friends, hey, grab a paintbrush and let's make something together and see what happens, you know? And there's something really fun about that. I'm a big believer that 2 minds are better than 1, 3 minds are better than 2, you know? Now, of course, you do get probably to a number where you start getting diminishing returns. I have found that 3 to 4 seems to be a sweet spot for me, but I love that spirit of collaboration. I mean, the truth of it is that we're all in this life together, and I kind of like mirroring that in my creative process. And guys like Zach and Hardy, you know, are, I think, some of the greatest creators out there, and super grateful to have been able to make music with Zach for many, many years, and Hardy over the past couple of years. They're, to me, both really authentic people, and that's what I'm always looking for with people that I like to make art with, is people that I feel like are just being very honest about who they are and what they're about, you know, regardless of what that is, if it's similar to me or not. You know, I just respect authenticity in art, and really grateful that, you know, we've been able to make some songs together and put them out there.
Yeah, you guys have some absolute bangers together. And now individually, we'll stick it to the songwriting topic here. How do you approach your songwriting? Do you have any rituals or habits that help you get into the creative zone?
Yeah, you know, every songwriter kind of has their own process. I've seen it done so many ways over the years, and it's that's one of the reasons why I think it's so great to collaborate. For instance, you know, when I first started writing, all I knew was my way of writing, you know, and I had done it my way for a very long time. Then when I started collaborating, I realized, wow, other people have completely other styles. Like, for instance, I start out with the idea of the song. I'll spend weeks just thinking of a concept that I really connect with, like a bobber on a wet line. I'm just trying to catch a good time.
Yeah.
I went through hundreds of ideas before that one kind of stuck out to me, you know, and resonated. And I was like, that is a song in and of itself. Now I just got to write the song, right? And then I grab my guitar and I start writing the music that feels like it matches that thought. And then once I get the music built up, then I start writing the lyrics. So that's my process. But I know other guys that are and gals that'll start with just the lyrics and write pretty much the entire song all on paper lyrically, and then put the music to it. So there's so many different ways to go about it. And every time I collaborate with a different songwriter and I see their process on how they build their house, that is the song, I get a little more insight. And I think of it as almost like your background. I think of it as another brick on the wall of songwriting for me on how it can be done. And the more and more I learn about how it can be done, I feel like the more better I am at being able to, you know, connect with people out there through songwriting.
Yeah, and then your music is like an interesting blend of country pop and reggae, which I believe it kind of breathes some fresh air into many country, you know, or even rock listeners. Anybody can listen to this song, and it's Better Days or anything on in your discography, I believe, and that could be all played on every type of radio station. And I know people who like heavier music will really enjoy this. We talked about you getting your start in the music industry. Can you tell us a bit about your journey, how you officially got started playing music? I believe I read something about you becoming a drummer first.
Yeah, so I was really fortunate to grow up in a musical household. My mom and dad both play instruments. My dad's a drummer and a guitar player, and my mom's a guitar player. They both write songs for enjoyment, you know. And so drums was the first instrument that I learned when I was probably 7, 8 years old. And then when I was about 15, I learned, started learning guitar. And as soon as I started learning guitar, I really fell in love with that because it's hard to write a song on drums. And I really connect, I think, to the songwriting aspect of it all deeper than any part of it, you know. I love a good story. And I think that's also why I really connect with country music so much, you know. But uh, I really love the positive mentality of reggae music, you know, this one love sort of ethos. And then the drum and bass, you know, I grew up about 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. So I grew up on Outcast, and um, uh, all the amazing Atlanta hip hop music that was coming out in the 90s. And for me, those sounds, those drum sounds and the 808 bass, it's just it does something to you, I think, on a frequency level. It just, it's so impactful. And for me, I've always just been looking for what moves me musically. That's all I really care about. There's only two kinds of music in my mind, the kind that moves me and the kind that doesn't. And when something moves me, I connect with it, and I want to make it a part of my life. And as an artist, trying to think about, all right, what do I want to put out there? I kind of think of it as like, well, what are all the things that most move me? And for me, that's positive mentality, drums and bass that hit really hard, and storytelling. And I grew up in the South, so using also instruments that harken to that sort of thought, is what I'm going for. Because for me, that's kind of the recipe that is my style of art. And just wanted to put that out there. If there's any other artists listening, to encourage them to really think about what it is that makes them uniquely themselves, and create that own little recipe.
We talk about performing live. How do you connect with your audience during live performances? Do you have any memorable moments from your shows? Any specific moments in that set that you're just gonna call these guys all together, become one, the one love ethos from reggae?
Yeah, when I first was started playing out in front of people, I first started playing at like church when I was a kid. Uh and then when I got into my early 20s, I started playing like local bars and honky tonks around my area, around my town. And at the time when I was playing those bars and honky tonks, I think I was so nervous I wasn't able to be comfortable and honest with everyone, I think, on stage. And so now, having been fortunate enough to been doing this for a while, and been able to get comfortable now, for me, I've really connected to the fact that the more honest I can be on stage, the more connected I feel to the crowd. And I think the crowd feels connected to me, that we're all there for the same purpose. That yes, it's my music and I might be on the stage, but what we really all came to do was to celebrate life and positivity together. That's why I love my fans so much, because we really are all of the same mind, that life is short. It's meant to be lived happily as much as possible and as meaningfully as possible. And taking these moments to kind of hit the pause button on all the stress, and take an hour and a half to kind of get together as a big group, as a community, celebrate these thoughts, in a very simple, positive way. It's a beautiful thing. And I kind of view myself as really just being a part of the community as well. It's why I love my logo. My logo has become much more popular than my own mug. And I love that, because that's what it's really about. It's really about the concept of it all. And for me, kind of coming back to the question, that's where I get my most connection from, is disappearing as much as possible and being a part of the event just as much as everyone else is out there. That we're all singing together for these philosophical thoughts that we hold so close to us, and they're really simple ones, love and positivity. To me, they're these giant blankets that can go even above our sometimes things that can divide us, like our different political views, or our different religious views, or things like that, or outlooks on life. That above all of that, we're much more similar than we are different. That we all are interested in living life peacefully and happily, uh, and like standing on that, and getting with people who also really resonate with that thought, to me is a really beautiful thing. And so just wanted to use music to focus on the things that really make us more similar than different, because in all reality we are.
I think the world needs more artists like you. It's promoting positivity and making people feel good. Is It's a good feeling for someone to know that coming to your show. And by the way, your logo, I noticed there was an N and M where the eyes are supposed to be in the happy face there the other day. But despite having a good time, we'll talk about the Better Days album. I know you had some critical, great reviews of a good time, but we'll talk about the present, Better Days. Any standout tracks for you personally, and why?
Yeah, so there's probably two standout tracks. One is Strange Times. And, you know, we've been talking about it a little bit already, you know, and for me, when I get to paying, you know, like too much attention to the news or, you know, to, to social media at times, you know, I can start to feel a little bit overwhelmed by it all. You know, it's hard. I start to feel a little bit heavy. And, you know, I hear that so often when I'm in conversations with friends, family, people like that. And what the song is I think it's a reminder to not forget that life is beautiful and precious and short, you know, and that I myself can so easily get caught up in the worryings of all the different things that there are to worry about that I can forget to enjoy my day. And by the end of the day, I'm going to sleep, and that I might have even lost that day as far as like my peace with it. You know, it kind of got taken by these other things that are constantly vying for my attention. So it's not a song of saying put your head in the sand and ignore things. It's just saying, hey, let's keep it all in balance, and it can't be all doom and gloom all the time. You know, we got to remember to enjoy life too. And then the other song that I really love is or that I just feel really strongly about is Better Days. And that's because uh, that song I've donated to my nonprofit called the Happy Cowboy Foundation. And I set that up a month ago. And very simply, what it does is it helps people get therapy that are looking for it but can't afford it. And I've been really fortunate to be able to talk to people in the past when I've been in difficult situations that are situations that were difficult for me to navigate mentally, you know, and having someone to kind of be a bouncing board and also kind of give me tools to help me navigate it. I found really helpful, you know, and but it's so expensive, and I mean, so many people out there, uh, I think are thinking to themselves, man, I feel really overloaded, and it would be really great if I could just have a couple of conversations with someone. Uh, that's what the Happy Cowboy Foundation is set up for. And what I mean by it, I donated the song Better Days to the foundation is that I donated all the streaming revenue. So anytime anyone listens to the song, they're donating to the foundation, whether it's on Spotify or Apple or YouTube or Pandora or wherever someone chooses to listen to their music, Amazon, you know, you're donating regardless. It all goes 100% of it to the Happy Cowboy Foundation. We've already raised over $100,000 in just a little over a month. So the amount of money that is generating is really exciting, and it's literally gonna be hundreds, if not thousands, of people who are gonna hopefully you know, get help and get back on the road to happiness again.
It's always good giving back when you can, and when you can make a difference in someone's
Yeah.
life. It's absolutely amazing. It's a good feeling for yourself, and it's a good feeling for them, knowing that there's like a helping hand out there. Sometimes people are very adamant to reach for that hand, but others, when they do, they feel much better after. And I will say the album Better Days can provide comfort and inspiration to listeners during difficult times, like strange times, you know. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
finally, I want
Sometimes
to,
you need a positive song, you know what I mean,
yeah,
to help you feel encouraged. But sometimes you need more than that. You need a positive conversation, you know. We need both in this world. I'm just a musician, you know, so I can only kind of take it as far as I can through music. But that's why I wanted to set up the nonprofit, and they're kind of working together hand in hand to help things out, you know. And um, I think you know, life is better when we're thinking of each other, you know, and helping each other out, you know. So just trying to do my little part, you know. There's a lot of artists out there doing great work, not just musically, you know, and not just artists, all kinds of people, you know. So we're all in it together.
absolutely, and we're all one love. I think that's the main theme of this show, one love. I think everyone should think about that. That in the same way, life in the same way, positivity, spread the love, spread the help if you can, and look out for those near you. What's next for you after the release of Better Days? Any upcoming projects, goals you're excited to pursue?
Yeah, so I'm currently on tour right now. The tour is going to be going all through this year, all across America and even some international dates. Really getting the message out there, making people aware about the music and the nonprofit. And that's really what my main focus is, that and spending time with my family. I got a little 1 year old daughter now, and so I've been having a blast uh, uh, growing as a person and learning how to be a father,
Mhm.
and all the good stuff that comes with that. So life is beautiful. I just feel so grateful that people out there connect with what I'm doing and have formed this community around me and the music, and are giving me this reality of a life to be able to go around and travel and put this out there, because without folks connecting with you, I'm just a dude at the house playing guitar for myself, man. That's the truth of it. That's the reality. And as soon as everyone stops finding this valuable and meaningful, that's what I'm doing. So it's uh it's this beautiful gift that I'm given, and it's a temporary one. I don't know how long I'll get it. So I wake up every day just super grateful that I got the gift of being able to get out there and travel, and knowing that people are gonna show up, and that we're gonna, really celebrate life together. And I don't see things changing anytime soon. I'm gonna stay on this path.
I've realized being a parent, and raising my kids, there's a few things you connect with other people in life. Either you get along right away, you love the same music, or you're a parent. And I'll tell you this, from the experience, you'll always wish they were a 1 year old, because my boy now, he's 4, and things are really ramping up. We're going at like 100 the whole time. It's like, so it's hard to do a podcast. It's hard to, sometimes I
Yeah,
have them behind backstage here, and it's like, just take it easy, right? But it's also good to be a positive parent and have that positivity.
yeah.
It can get hectic sometimes, and I wish you the best of luck, my friend. um
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I love that you're a parent. Anyone out there who's contemplating this, on whether or not they would ever want to be a parent. And I know before I was thinking, wow, this is going to be so much responsibility. Can I handle this much responsibility? You know, what I would say to that is, we got one life to live. Make it epic, make it an epic experience and an epic story. And if you're interested in self betterment, I have found that nothing has made me want to be a better person more than my child has. Because when you got that little human being looking up at you as the example for everything, as you know, right, it puts a fire inside of you to better yourself much more than I was ever able to conjure up on my own beforehand. And so I'm deeply interested in trying to be the best version of myself in this life. And I know a lot of people out there who listen to you and are fan of what you do are the same, But I think a lot of people can get a little bit fear mongered into thinking, oh, yeah, maybe later, or it's like, hey, babies, we've been making babies and having babies since the beginning of time. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm really grateful for the experience of it, and the continued, as you say, the continued learning experience of it too, because it just keeps on. It's the gift that keeps giving, right?
it's like going through school, and every year you get more and more of a test, right? So now it's like life tests you, and then your kids test you, and it's always good to have
Yeah,
people like you I can relate to. And I really thank you for coming on the show. Meet me for coffee with Niko Moon. It's been awesome. Hopefully we can have you back in studio one day when you come over by Toronto, and we can do this again.
absolutely. Anytime, anytime. Great talking to you.